Uh, dude, I just realized that starting February, the drought's gonna be over for new game releases.
Games have released this month. The hell are you talking about?
Did they? Wait, which ones?
Extraction?
Oh right, yeah, I forgot about that. That was
Legends Arceus literally launches this upcoming Friday.
I honestly like. I mean, granted, I don't really follow that much of Nintendo now, which I feel like is a bad thing for me, honestly, on that one.
Monster Hunter Rise literally came out on PC this month. God of War on PC came out this month.
Wait, God of War came out?
The new free-to-play Yu-Gi-Oh game came out literally a few days ago.
Oh, Lamau! Wow.
What the hell is going on with you?
It's more the fact of like the games that I care about, I guess. Let me reiterate that. It's the games that I care about for it, because like the ones that I care about, like for me, is like Dying Light 2. That's coming out in February. I mean, you have also like Destiny 2, duh, and then there is
A lot of stuff comes out next week, or not next month. Next month, because Switch is going to have a big time next month because the Kingdom Hearts series is coming to Switch.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then the Ezio collection is also coming to Switch next month.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a bunch of games that I'm like, oh my god, I'm just not going to have the time for this. Because there's Horizon Forbidden West, there's Dying Light 2, there's Elden Ring, and there's Witch Queen.
I feel like for right now, personally, don't look at Dying Light 2 anytime soon unless you got a huge upgrade. Because I looked at the recommendeds.
I have a PS5, Toxic.
I was kind of hoping to play that with you. I'll be honest.
Is Dying Light 2 not crossplay?
I don't think so.
Most games are nowadays.
Let me actually see here.
Not available at launch. Let's see this.
Yeah, because I want to get Dying Light 2. That is 100% of that. But also, welcome to the HZRD.
It seems they're implying that it's going to come to Dying Light 2.
I mean, I'm hoping. I'm really freaking hoping. Because that would be awesome. As much as I would like to play that on my own. Because, let's be real, I would enjoy it a lot more if I had like someone else with me. But anyway,
Dying Light 2 co-op, because as far as I'm aware,
it does. Dying Light had co-op. Dying Light 2 has co-op. They even brought it up too. I feel like they would have done a disservice if it wasn't.
I mean, I guess I'm just kind of iffy about Dying Light 2 in general, just because of the fact that there's not a running button.
Yeah,
that's a little weird to me. I mean, it's probably gonna be fine. It's just something to adjust to. It's so weird to me that like you gain momentum just by moving.
Honestly, I like that because it's more in the flow of.
It reminds me of Mirror's Edge.
I think that's what they were like trying to go for with that. But anyway, welcome back to the HZRDCast, the new year, episode 8, and we have a couple of things to talk about. One of which is Dying Light 2, as well as other releases that are going through, and also a couple.
I think we have a really big one to talk about, though.
Oh, yeah. Very big one. And it has to do...
You know, the last time I saw a company make a purchase this big was Disney with Fox.
I'm not going to lie. That was, I think, the last time there was this big of a purchase that had a ripple effect throughout the entire media.
Yeah.
Because it's not even affecting gaming. It's affecting everything. Now, if you guys
100%.
are somehow
Under a rock.
no, not even under a rock, deafened, blinded, and buried alive.
There's just no way that anyone could have not heard of this unless they are completely cut off.
Unless they're Amish. Even then, I feel like Amish people will know.
Because, like, professional news stations that normally don't cover gaming were covering
this, yes, because it's just such a big thing. So, anyway, Microsoft has confirmed of purchasing Activision Blizzard. Technically, Activision Blizzard King, but no one calls it that, for $68.7 billion. Yeah. Like,
it is a wild time.
Essentially, what they did, Microsoft thought, you know what? I'm going to go through and purchase essentially a company that's in a lot of shit. Honestly, I feel like that was the strategy for them. I feel like that was the strategy. That was their saving grace. Because think about it this way. Activision Blizzard was in literally a shitstorm and still is continuously in a shitstorm. People do not like the CEO and honestly wished he didn't, like, he was removed and not, staying until 2023, like, before this deal finalizes. And then, like, it's a fucking disaster for everything involved. Like, to give you guys an idea, the stock price at its highest for Activision Blizzard was around $100 per share. Let me actually get you the actual, like, value of it too at that time, because as of right now, the market cap of Activision Blizzard is $63.36 billion. Now, that was when it was obviously low. It was at an amount of $104 dollars per share, which let me see here, which is definitely more than $70 billion, just to give you a heads up. I just unfortunately don't remember the exact, like, time frame for that. Yeah, so let's see here. The market cap at the time was its highest is $78.12 billion. And that was back in February 15th of 2021. Now, because of all the scandals, all the shit that went down, it has dropped before the purchase, like ever was considered, to $49 billion. 78 to 49. That is a 50% drop within the span of 10 months. There is very few companies that can actually do something that insane. So people are thinking like, oh, Microsoft purchased Activision Blizzard for over its like price. Honestly, they still got a really good deal out of this because of the fact, again, the highest that they had was $78 billion. and they're purchasing it for $69 billion. That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
But not only that, not only the fact of like the purchase, how big of a purchase this was, is to compare it, Nintendo, like the entire thing of Nintendo is worth $53 billion. Microsoft could buy Nintendo and still have enough to do whatever the hell they want. This is like, and also here's one thing that is huge when it comes to it. When it actually comes to the list of games, because everyone knows they have, like, you know, they owned Ravensoft now. They'll own Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Ravensoft. I think it was like Bob for Toys. I think Toys for Bob, and then King, and then like a couple of other like supporting studios. But the thing, the most impressive thing is that they own more than now 20 IPs. And I'll go over them very quickly. We already know COD, Diablo, World of Warcraft, Overwatch. You know, all those are the main four, right? Everyone knows those. They also have Blur, Caesar, Candy Crush, Crash Bandicoot, DJ Hero, Empire Earth, Gabriel Knights, Geo Wars, Guitar Hero. Yeah, you remember that? That's an old ass game. Gun, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, Hexen, Interstate 76, King's Quest, Laura Bow's Mysteries, Lost Vikings. And also, they have the entire Spyro collection. The entire Spyro IP. They have Tony Hawk Pro Skater IP. Like, they even have Skylanders. One of my friends, who if you're like an old time viewer of the channel, would have known him as Pushpin Gamer. He became a Skylanders YouTuber. Go by Crash or Skylands. And you know, he was going over like his channel's actually pretty good. If you like that stuff, go Reddit, like check him out. Pretty chill.
You realize that like Microsoft now has power of over 2 specific IPs that used to be household names: Crash Bandicoot and Spyro.
Yes. Not only that, it's the fact that they even have like Tony Hawk Pro Skater as well. Now, granted, that's not a household name, but that is a very well-known name back in the early 2000s. And now Xbox has 30 studios under their belt. And that is just insane to think about. Microsoft has essentially said, you know what? We understand that we've not had a good time in Xbox One, like for the Xbox One era. How about I show you what happens when you piss me off? And this is my opening move. I will buy ZeniMax. And all of the studios with that. And they're like, okay, you want more? Boom. Activision.
Something that's also crazy to think about is that Microsoft also just bought 2 of the biggest mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
Hearthstone and Candy Crush.
Yep. And now with the whole mobile space being more of a higher demand and kind of where a lot more of the money is coming from, Microsoft is like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me hit 3 trillion. I'm already 500 billion away. Like, there is a chance that with this purchase, there's a possibility that they will actually go to the 3 trillion mark before.
And Microsoft's about to like become an even bigger company. It is like fucking wild, dude.
It is insane. Hey, by the way, one thing, if I wanted to just give you a heads up, if you're thinking of, oh shit, Netflix is too expensive now, guess what? You can spend the same amount that you normally do for the original subscription, put in an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, boom, you literally have hours of game at your fingertips at any time. No problem.
Yeah, because Game Pass not only like it's not just like it's not just like having games that Microsoft has like partnered with companies, but it includes EA Play and is in the future going to include Ubisoft Plus.
And they already have been making deals with Ubisoft because day one,
Siege and Extraction are on there now.
Yep. And it was a day one release on the Game Pass too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think this is the best part. This is the best part about this entire thing. Is not only that Xbox is essentially, like Microsoft has essentially just said, your move, Sony. Sony lost $20 billion.
I genuinely think this is probably the most scared Sony has ever been, because it's like, this isn't just a power move. This is the power move.
This is the power move to end all power moves. Now,
and it's not like Sony will like explode or like be destroyed. They're still very much going to exist.
But there
is no longer, once this deal finishes and goes through, there is no longer any way that Sony can create a service to compete with Game Pass. There's just no way.
So, funny enough that you actually say that, in essentially a last-ditch effort, they announced that they were creating its own Game Pass. Because they're like, oh fuck, oh shit, what do we do now? Because essentially what happened is that they lost the possibility of an exclusivity deal with Activision Blizzard, which they've had, especially when it came to the more recent titles. Now, in the terms of the game catalogs, that's not going to change. Phil Spencer even said that they're not going to say, like, oh, COD's Xbox exclusive. They're not going to do any of that, at least as of right now. Again,
I think in the future, Call of Duty will be exclusive, or at least have some kind of exclusive thing.
And so that's kind of the one thing. I look sick green. All right, fine. Hey, Google, light white.
I think the one thing that I need them to do is just give the Call of Duty developers more time, please.
People are speculating that that's what's going to happen. Because
we've just had 2 games in a row, Vanguard and Cold War,
that are both shit.
That have like problems with them, and it's like, oh my god, please.
It hurts.
Just give the developers the time they need, please.
So let us actually go over the Call of Duty time frame for every single game from COD 1 until now. So we had, obviously, the first COD, United Offensive, followed by The Finest Hour. Then COD 2 came out in and this is all in 2004. And then COD 2 came 2005, COD 3 came in 2006, and then the first major COD that people actually got there. And so 2007 to 2012 is, and I do not think anyone can say otherwise, was the pinnacle of Call of Duty.
I think I think the reason why I do think they need more time is not just because how the products have come out, but because when you really think about it, back then when games were on the 360 and all of them,
yeah,
it was somewhat viable to do a Call of Duty every year because you didn't have to. There
wasn't a lot.
Were less heavy back then.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot on there.
But now, when you have games like Modern Warfare 19 or Cold War that are trying to do all these things with their graphics and effects and stuff, it is not viable anymore.
It isn't. And I think the one thing is that I was really like, and I'm glad that Modern Warfare came out, like 2019's Modern Warfare, because to be honest, I think that was the last time I thoroughly enjoyed playing Modern Warfare. And it's hard for me to say that because again, the last time I actually played through that was Black Ops 4, and I fucking hated it. That was like, it felt like, okay, cool, awesome, and then like, all right, this is just really like slow and shit.
I just realized they didn't get control of 2 mobile games. They got control of 3 of the biggest mobile games.
Well, what's the third one?
Call of Duty Mobile.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Remember when Vandahar was complaining that Activision pretty much said scrap this to campaign of Black Ops 4? I mean, again, that's why I think that as far
as I'm aware, the reason why the campaign for Black Ops 4 was scrapped was because Treyarch just couldn't figure out what the fuck they were doing with the campaign. This was not an Activision issue. This was a, what the fuck is wrong with you, Treyarch? Why are you not figuring out your campaign? You're 2 years into development and you still don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I mean, we've
was
seen...
not an Activision issue with Black Ops 4. That was a Treyarch issue. As far as I remember the reports saying.
I mean,
then at the last minute, they decided we're just going to scrap it and make a battle royale because we just can't figure out what the fuck we're doing.
And we want to hop on that bandwagon.
Like, as much as I try and defend developers, I'm sorry, this is not one of those times where you can do it.
There's a point. There's a point where it stops. Honestly,
it's like the whole DICE EA thing.
Yeah.
Just stop defending DICE at this point, please. This is no longer an EA issue when every Battlefield is being released broken.
DICE, just change your fucking engine to something else. Just please. As much as we want to see the effects of the destruction, I feel like there's a better way. There's better engines that you can create.
100%. No, 100% is.
But I think the interesting part is that at the time, is the engine part EA or DICE? It is.
The engine
DICE.
Was developed by DICE.
It is.
Frostbite is a DICE developed project.
Yep.
This is all DICE's issue at this point because DICE made a shitty engine that they never fixed.
Yeah, they never bothered to like.
That engine has been the source of issues for EA companies for many years now.
Even when like they try and like say, "Oh yeah, let's actually go into it," like, nope. Shit.
BioWare couldn't figure out how to use it for Anthem. BioWare Montreal couldn't figure out how to use it for Mass Effect.
Yep. Andromeda, Anthem. I mean, fuck.
And Dragon Age Inquisition as well.
Yeah, Dragon Age.
As far as I'm aware, Dragon Age 4 is also using it.
I love that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Need for Speed Heat used the Frostbite engine, if I remember correctly, too.
The Frostbite engine is really cool to look at because it makes things visually amazing, but it is a shitty engine to work with. You know what? It's like the Destiny engine. It's spaghetti code everywhere. The engine that they use for Destiny is shit, and it's always the same issues. When you hire people that are new and have never used this engine before, you have to put them not just through teaching them how to make stuff for your game, but how to use the engine in general. And so when you have that issue with not just like having to bring on a new person who's never worked in your environment before, you now have to teach them to use completely different tools that they've never used before or are absolute crap.
So let's see here. Let's actually go over. Let's see if we can go over every single game that has come out within the last, what did you want to say, 10 years? That
yeah, sure.
That's come out? Yeah, okay. Let's do last 10 years.
That's also the reason why Battlefield Hardline failed, because it was a fucking Visceral Games being forced to use an engine that they never used before.
Yep, essentially. Okay, so actually, All right, so everything that I'm going to be saying is going to be on version 3.0 of this.
I think Star Wars Squadrons was.
Let's see here. Yep. So, actually, within the last 10 years, they're all of them. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So, Anthem, Battlefield 1 through, technically I could say Battlefield 1, 4, 5, Hardline, the canceled Command and Conquer.
Do you realize that the FIFA games and Madden games are made on the Frostbite engine now?
They have been since 2016. FIFA 17 to 22, Madden NFL 18 till 22, Mass Effect Andromeda, Catalyst, Need for Speed, Heat, Payback, Rivals, Edge. If you don't know what Edge is, don't be surprised.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst was also Frostbite.
Mm-hmm. Plants vs.
Look how
Zombies.
broken that game came out.
There's Plants vs. Zombies, NHL 22, okay. Battlefront, Battlefront 2, Star Wars Squadrons, Army of Two, Devil's Cartel, Battlefield 3, Medal of Honor. Okay, hold on, now I'm going too far on that. So,
it is genuinely...
It's a lot.
It is, too many games are using the Frostbite engine, and the reason why is because they just don't want to either use a different engine or they don't want to pay to use the Unreal engine. But I'm gonna be real honest, my dude. Just pay to use Unreal Engine 5 because holy hell, Unreal Engine 5 looking spicy.
So the one thing is that it's actually being enforced by EA.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I said it's because EA is forcing people to use it.
That's the shitty part. So,
and when the only people who actually know how to use it properly is DICE, and DICE is mostly made up of new people who don't know how to use it now.
It's just, it's 100% a huge problem. Go over to Unity for it. Yep. Hey, honestly, I'm
not gonna lie.
That's a better option.
The reality is that Unity would be easier to develop on for them.
That's true. Hell, you could do Gary's mod. Fucking Minecraft coding. That would be better for them. Oh my god. It just sucks because I remember, back in the old days, and by old days I mean Battlefield 3, where this was their pinnacle of the 3.0. That was the whole thing for Battlefield 3, if I remember correctly, was their first game. And it was intense, it was cool, the dynamics of it was really freaking insane. But then when you played the beta, it was fucking just terrible. You had literally people having their necks half the length of the map. You had the weirdest fucking ends, you would fall through the map sometimes if you hit the rock at the right point, or the wrong point technically. You would have guns not hitting shots even though they're supposed to be. It was just a disaster. Granted, they were able to fix it up, but again, that was back when Battlefield was ran by the OG DICE devs, and it's here we are now. Essentially,
also, I feel I need to say something about Battlefield fans. Please stop asking for Battlefield Bad Company 3. Why do you think that that's going to be a good game when you don't like the current Battlefields?
I'm going to say right now, there is literally no reason
that the same company making the current Battlefields is going to make a good Bad Company 3.
There's literally no reason to bother even thinking about it or anything at this point for it. And the pure reason is the fact that they're not going to go back to single player storylines with Battlefield unless it's hooked up with something different or some type of bullshit like that. Granted, yes, Respawn was hey, guess what? Fuck you. This is how you make a Star Wars game and a single player game and still have it be one of the best selling games of that time, of that year.
Squadrons?
Was it Squadrons? That was what's it called? Not I thought it was Force.
What? Oh yeah, Jedi, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fallen Order. My brain always forgets that Fallen Order was made by Respawn.
Yeah.
Because my brain associates Respawn with Apex.
I mean, yeah, literally everything that has to do with Titanfall, Apex. Like, Respawn's literally known for 2 IPs.
Yeah.
The Titanfall, I'm
Which
saying
is funny
Titanfall as the umbrella.
since they're making a second Fallen Order game.
Yeah, and I think the one thing is that it's just like
I'm excited for it, right? Like, because I really like the first one.
Well.
But also, I'm like, is Cal even gonna be alive by the end of the second one?
I don't know. I haven't played through it, so
writing the whole concept of like Jedi existing during the original trilogy has always been kind of a slippery slope, because it's like, well, either they have to disappear somehow because the original trilogy doesn't have Jedi other than Luke, or you have to kill them.
it's like, I feel like the one thing is just kind of going into an established universe is always going to be difficult, especially when you are trying to fit within a specific timeline.
But then I realized, wait a minute, Ahsoka exists, and technically she's not a Jedi, but like she still exists.
Wait, if she's not classified as a Jedi, what is she classified as exactly? I don't remember.
She doesn't classify herself as anything, I think. I think she just classifies herself as a Force user.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. It's like she was just like a normal...
Because the thing is that like in Rebels very clearly establishes that she just doesn't see herself as a Jedi, and that's partly because of what happens in Clone Wars with her.
Are we talking about... Are we talking without the extended universe that was labeled non-canon? Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. Because, again, when, like, we're kind of...
Well, if we consider the current extended universe, it's still weird. Because the extended universe, the Disney extended universe has this weird thing where it's like, hey, yeah, by the way, we erased the old canon, we erased the old extended universe, but, here, have a bunch of Jedi existing just like the old extended universe. And I was like, might as well just make Mara Jade canon at this point.
Rip Kyle Katarn.
Kyle Katarn, yeah. Kyle Katarn, Mara Jade.
All the actual...
Thrawn is a different character in it. Like, he's still Thrawn, but he's different in, like, the Disney-verse. I still need to read the second and third book. I've only ever read the first book. Because I love the original Thrawn trilogy. I really do.
Yeah.
It's just I haven't read the new one. I've only read the first one.
I still think the interesting part is about this entire thing is that I feel like, you know, going off of that, I don't know if they're ever actually going to expand cinematically, at least, on the Star Wars universe.
They are.
Are they making more movies? Or
yes, Ryan Johnson's still doing his trilogy, if I remember correctly. Or at least he's doing a movie. Taika Waititi's doing a movie. Kevin Feige's doing a movie, and Patty Jenkins is doing a movie.
Huh. That's true. Now that I realize it, dude, Taika Waititi has so many things on his plate. I just realized it, because not only that, he was also given the rendition of...
The only one of those projects I'm really worried about is surprisingly not Ryan Johnson's, but instead Patty Jenkins.
Isn't Patty
Ryan
Jenkins...
Johnson, I've seen his other films, and I like his other films. I just think what he did with Last Jedi was a stupid mistake. But I know the man's a good filmmaker because his other films are good.
Wait, what other ones that he did? Because I don't remember.
He's done Knives Out, which I fucking love the hell out of, by the way.
I mean,
But you know what's funny about Knives Out? You know how Last Jedi was like... You know how Last Jedi was all about, like, oh, subverting expectations and all that?
Yeah.
Knives Out actually subverts your expectations in a really good way, and I'm like, wow, he actually knows how to subvert expectations? What the fuck?
I mean, other than the fact that it is a good film, 100% watch it. They're making another one. Well, kind of a successor to it. because they're bringing back Daniel Craig as the inspector into this
Well, it's
next
not a
one.
successor. It's straight up like
Is
in the
it?
same universe. It's gonna be. It's a sequel. Like
It's okay.
literally. It's because the movies are meant to follow the detective. So we're still following the same exact character.
Okay.
It's like Death on the Nile. Death on the Nile is like it's the same universe as Death on the Orient Express. Or was it Murder on the Orient Express?
It's Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, it's in that same universe, same detective.
Yeah. I actually like the weird thing is that there's always like these like I like the fact that there's kind of a rise, like a slow rise of like mystery movies, because honestly I really miss those. I hate the fact that like 90% of the stuff that you see is like, oh, action, and then like a superhero
I think it's because
movie.
action is what sells.
I fucking blame Michael Bay for that. I mean, granted, yes, like there's action movies beforehand, you know, like the entire Matrix trilogy, Die Hard trilogy, like the Die Hard series.
Don't get me started on the new Matrix.
I've heard that was a huge fucking disappointment.
So I'm gonna, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna get started on it. Matrix 4 is. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, but it is still bad.
Wait, hold on. Just give me 1 second. Are you gonna say spoilers?
I won't if you don't want me to.
I mean, I don't care. I just wanted to have that be pointed out first. Spoiler warning. If you want to somehow still want to watch Matrix 4, I don't even remember the fucking actual name. Spoiler warning.
What's funny is I got spoiled by interviews because I didn't know a lot of the stuff going in, but then like as interviews would like pop up, I'd be like, wait, what?
Spoiler alert, Keanu is old. Yeah, he's like 700 years old. Come on, I thought we all knew this.
I fucking hate how they brought him back. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it.
Honestly, the fact that they brought him back makes no friggin' sense.
See, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with like him existing necessarily, but I hate the way they brought him back in universe.
I honestly think he should have just been dead and just stay dead. Having as a new entire cast,
here's my opinion. Here's my opinion on the Matrix 4 movie and its characters. Why did we need? Like, I don't understand why they needed to come back when like there's a really interesting character who you start following in the very beginning of the film, and you're like, oh shit, is she gonna be the actual main character?
No,
but no, she gets delegated to side character status, and I'm like, but she was so interesting though.
So overall,
and
would
the
you?
Character I'm talking about goes by the code name of Bugs. And they make the joke about like Bugs Bunny and stuff on that, but her code name is Bugs, and I felt like was a more interesting character than most of the other characters who are returning.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, I'm actually kind of interested in this character. Why are we not seeing more stuff from her?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I think something else that like genuinely just pissed me off was this. Okay, so I need to say this. I need spoiler alert for the movie because it's not revealed until like
we already said like spoiler alert early on. So
it is revealed that Neo and Trinity. It wasn't like they were. It was what I was expecting to happen was like a copy of their conscious was saved in the Matrix. Or something like that, because that makes sense, right?
That honestly, like, if they were to bring back, and it was just like that,
it would make sense if the copy of them was saved in the Matrix or something, right?
Yeah.
But you know what the actual explanation was?
What?
Hey, yeah, we pulled a Deus Ex Machina, literally rebuilt your bodies and brought you back to life.
What the fuck?
Because we are your machine overlords, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
And why?
I don't want to watch this movie now.
It's because we, as the machine overlords, needed you to exist in order for our new Matrix to exist.
Again, copy. Literally a copy. Done. That's it. That's all you could have done. Why? I hate I hate that so much.
And I'm just like, there's literally a scene where like they're shown replicating their bodies and bringing them back to life, and then they're like, Oh, by the way, the only reason Neil has powers is because of Trinity, and I'm like, I kind of am okay with them sharing powers, but
That's
also,
what the
saying
fuck?
that like retconning it and saying that the only reason he had powers was because he met Trinity, I feel like is kind of weird. I
Honestly,
think it's cool the idea that like the chosen one is actually two halves, Trinity and Neo, but I feel like it's really weird to retcon it in the fourth movie.
the fact that they fucking retconned it in the fourth movie when it was obviously the fourth fucking movie, it pisses me off. So I don't want to watch it.
Also, you're really gonna love this. There's a fucking stupid ass joke. There's a stupid ass joke in the movie about how like some people are like, oh, this was just a cash grab. Well, in the movie, Neo exists like when he's in the Matrix because when he's forgotten about everything,
Mm-hmm.
he exists as a video game developer who created the Matrix trilogy as a game. And the Matrix is literally the game series is literally referred to as the Matrix. And that's why in the trailer you hear the guy saying, "So exciting to go back to the Matrix." And the reason why you're gonna love what I'm about to say, is because you know how like people love to talk about how like movies are just cash grabs and like companies force developers to do things.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, it's out of our hands. It's out of our hands, Anderson. Uh, Warner Brothers is making us do this." And I'm just like, "Are you fucking seriously telling me you just included a fucking stupid meta joke about Warner Brothers?"
At this point, if you're not watching the
And
live
then,
stream,
and then
I
they, and
am
then they made another
glaring
line,
at the
and then
camera.
they had another bad line after that, where they're like, "If we don't do it, Warner Brothers will do it without us." And I'm like, "That's I just you know what's like the interesting thing about that is that they were gonna apparently if Lana Wachowski didn't make the movie, they were gonna do it without her. So it's I just I I get it. Meta commentary can be funny and like amusing sometimes, but it has to actually be written funny.
Not only that, it actually has to like not essentially just like be shit in the
It
end.
also has to not be in a movie that's taking itself seriously.
Yeah. Like if this did you like the did you
Oh,
like the low FPS parts in the movie?
you know what? Yeah, let's talk about the new bullet time. You know
Well,
what? I really hate this. I really hate this because when it happens, the guy who's doing it is the new machine. Is like the guy who's controlling the Matrix.
the new architect?
New architect essentially, and he's telling Neo, he's like threatening Neo essentially because he slows down time because Neo's trying to save Trinity, and this fucking motherfucker is just there, and he slows him down, and he's talking about how like the thing that saved you back then, bullet time, our new bullet time 2.0. And I'm like, and you know how like some movies do that really shitty slow mo where it's just like it's clearly just chopped frames and things are kind of blurred badly.
I
That's what it was, and I was like, "Are you seriously calling this bullet time 2.0?" I could not believe what I was watching.
apparently
I was just like, this hurts me because like
this hurts me and I haven't watched it. This hurts me so much.
Also, I've never seen fight core. You know how like Keanu's a really good fighter, martial artist, and all that. We've seen this in John Wick.
I mean, we've seen this in like
Yeah, they decided to apparently just not use his talents at all and only have him push people.
This man went through weeks, months of training for John Wick to be a skilled hitman capable of using multitude of weaponry, who knows multitude of different fighting styles. And Warner Brothers is like, you know fucking what? We're not gonna have that as a aspect of this. And the director was like, you know fucking what? Yeah, let's not. That is what I call the fucking laziest thing I've ever seen. I'm actually very angry.
Also, something that felt really weird was the robot, the new architect, was sexist, and I was like, "What is happening here?" Because he's like, "Back then you could control women better," and I'm like, "What?"
Did they like get the Merovingian?
At the end of the film, Trinity punches him, or like just starts beating on him, and then the architect looks at Neo and he's like, "Why don't you control her better?" And I'm like, "What is happening here? What am I watching?"
I don't understand that at all. I really don't. Also, by the way, a kind of an irrelevant point. Apparently, I lick my lips weird. Really, Soul? Yes, I'm calling you out on this.
But it's just The Matrix. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, but it is definitely a bad film.
From what you're telling me here right now, as we speak, I am not wanting to watch that at all.
It's not a good film. It's not enjoyable. Like, there are some parts where I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, and most, what's funny is most of those parts had to do with the character that I talked about in the beginning, Bugs.
The fact,
and there was an aspect.
God, I hate that so much.
There was a thing that was brought up in the movie where I was like, why didn't we explore this more? And the aspect that I'm talking about is, so after Matrix 3, when Neo sacrifices and all that, the machines went to war, and now there's this new society of, like, there's still machines with the Matrix, obviously, that hate humans, but there's now this new society as well, this hidden underground society of humans and synthetics that live together. And I'm like, why was that not fucking explored more?
Wait, hold on. You're telling me that they essentially decide to say, hey, let's have like an actual fucking railroad from Fallout 4, and they did nothing with that.
Yeah, basically. We see a very small glimpse into that society, and then
watched it.
We see the small glimpse into that society, and then 2 minutes later we're back into going into the Matrix, and I'm like, why?
This is a really good suggestion. They could have just had Keanu pretty much be Johnny Silverhand, since his character is old in the Matrix. Have it be like a jaded old man. Honestly, if they had it like that, I feel like it may have been a little bit better, because one, he would have been a supporting character. I honestly would rather have him as a supporting character. I do not understand why they bring him back, because
so there was two characters that came back technically. And you know what? One of them was kind of like an interesting explanation, but also kind of really fucking stupid. So Morpheus is back.
What?
And so is Morpheus didn't die. Well, technically Morpheus did die in the original trilogy, but I'm going to bring up something that I feel like is really stupid.
Did he die off screen? So it's like, oh, he technically did die.
This movie takes place 60 years after the third movie.
I'm sorry, fucking what?
Meaning all the original characters are dead. And Morpheus is in the movie only because he's a character that was in a Matrix set, so Neo in the Matrix created this kind of side program where he was messing around with the Matrix code of the game he created, and somehow accidentally created a sentient AI with Morpheus, who ends up meeting Bugs and ends up becoming a part of the team. So you have AI Morpheus, and guess who else is back? Someone who was supposed to be dead after the third Matrix film. Fucking Smith.
Hold on, wait. Quick question, though.
No, Hugo Weaving is not in this movie.
Is Lawrence Fishburne in it, at least?
No. And you know who plays Smith? You've seen the trailer, right?
A while back.
You remember the guy who says "Back to the Matrix"?
Him?
Yeah.
No, I'm just not gonna watch it. I'm just not. No, there is no fucking reason for me to watch that movie at all anymore. I have lost all interest,
I have got
all
to
care
say,
for it.
I have got to say, you know, I thought Star Wars Last Jedi undid a lot of Star Wars stuff. But holy fuck, I don't think Last Jedi managed to reverse and fuck up as much things as Resurrections did to the Matrix trilogy.
Wait for it to go on $1 sale for DVD. Karis, you have to pay me to watch that.
It's not. Watched it on. The only reason I watched it was because I have a HBO sub, and I was like, you know, probably sure, why not? You know.
But anyway, moving on from that, because now you've gotten me stupidly angry over it.
I know it's a very frustrating movie.
I'm really fucking pissed off at you because of the fact of all that.
Well, now you can know that everything that happened at the end of Matrix 3 was undone.
I mean, look, there could have been a better way of ending it off. But honestly, I love the way that they ended off in Matrix Revelations. Like, the final fight between Neo and Smith was perfect. Because it's like, yes, that was the final pinnacle end to it all. Because technically, if we really look at it, Neo was the reason that, you know, the end happened. Without Neo, there would never have been that end. As I feel like, you know, we went in a full circle. Because again, ended the same way that it began. Neo dove into Smith, causing his his programming to get corrupted, and essentially him becoming sentient and going AWOL.
Man, can I just say I do not like the new Smith actor. I don't think he was bad, but it's like, man, you do not remind me of Smith at all.
Well, here's the problem.
I feel like there's just no way you could replicate what Hugo Weaving did as Smith.
No one can. Hugo Weaving literally is known for that role. That and also Lord of the Rings, but again, besides the point. It's still the fact that when you think of Hugo Weaving, you think of him saying Mr. Anderson. Because every single time I think of him, I'm always saying in my mind, Mr. Anderson. Like,
you know, it's funny.
What's
There's a moment in the movie.
Please tell me they did not disgrace that.
Where he says Mr. Anderson, but he yells it, and I'm like,
Mm-mm.
And it's the only time he says it, as far as I remember. I don't know if he says it more than once. If he said it more than once, I probably blocked it from my mind.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the fact that he yelled it, just no. You do not do that. The reason why Smith in the original trilogy was such an impending force was the fact that he never showed emotion even when he was sentient.
So I think the reason why
he was
yelling it was meant to be a reveal. But like I was so confused when he yelled it because I was like, "The fuck is happening here?"
That I would not know.
There was no build up to that.
I don't like the fact that essentially it's like, I'm gonna yell this out and this is somehow going to make sense. No, it's not. It does not when you yell it out. It's just like, okay, cool. Like,
So, but the funny thing is, the only reason I knew he was Smith was because of the fact that I had been spoiled by interviews. And then it cut the only reason I knew before that was because of interviews. And then he yells Smith, and I'm just like, the hell just happened?
You know, honestly, I
didn't realize that was meant to be the reveal for Smith. I'm dead. Yeah. Yeah, it came off, and I'm just like, is this supposed to be a reveal, or what's happening here? Because all of a sudden he picks up the gun and he's about to shoot Neo, and then all of a sudden Neo's back in the therapist's office, and I'm just like, what the fuck just happened?
That just sounds so convoluted. I think now overall, when we really look at it, I think in the end, the only thing to come out of Keanu Reeves becoming Neo again was the Unreal Engine 5 reveal.
Well, the Unreal Engine 5. Well, we had seen Unreal Engine 5 before.
I mean, yes, but
we just hadn't gotten a demo.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I liked a lot about it. Because
so that's why I feel like more developers need to go into the Unreal 5 engine, because the Unreal 5 engine looks really fucking beautiful.
Look, as much as I will, shit on scumbag games, they know how to make a good engine. They can develop really good engines. There's literally nothing bad that I can say about the Unreal Engine.
Yeah, basically.
Because I think every single game that I've played on Unreal Engine 4 has been fairly bug free, give or take a few things here and there. I think there's one exception to it. Only one, but I can't remember the game itself. Hold on, let me see here. What games use Unreal Engine 3 or Unreal Engine 4? Let's see here. Now again, this is a lot of games. Holy fuck.
Yeah, no, more games use Unreal Engine 4 than you would think.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 used it.
Yui. Oh yeah. Unreal Engine 3 had a ton of bugs. I know that, yeah. But what was the one? There was one game that I remember that I had issues on. I don't think it was Borderlands 3.
No, Borderlands 3 give everyone problems. And that was Unreal Engine.
That could have been that. It could have been actually Borderlands.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was Borderlands because I know I had a lot of fucking issues with it.
I mean, there was also Dead by Daylight, but that was just because of the coding. They were able to get that fixed fairly quickly. So, oh my god. So, looking at this, at the list, I just realized something.
What?
I completely disregarded the fact that the whole Five Nights at Freddy's series was bought by a different studio altogether.
Was it?
Yeah. Cause the thing is that Five Nights at Freddy's, let me see here if I can actually really get it up here.
It's interesting to think that Arkham Knight was UE3.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Arkham Knight was UE3.
Huh?
I know it's weird to think about, but Arkham Knight was UE3.
What? Hold on. Oh my god.
I know, it really just confuses you when you think about it.
That is so, what the fuck? That makes no sense whatsoever, at all.
Yeah.
Five Nights. Wait, really? Security Breach was made by animators and not developers?
That makes a lot of sense why that game's so buggy.
Yeah. So the one thing is that my main thing was that uh like when it came to Five Nights at Freddy's, because this was like at a time before like the new stuff came out. Like this was, I think, what, back in 2018, I think, or something of that sort. And this was essentially like this was their whole, like, we're gonna kind of like end off the series.
Yeah.
And like honestly, if you actually like go through the actual like storyline of Five Nights at Freddy's, like up until like I think Pizzeria Simulator,
Mhm.
like it's actually like super freaking like intense in like the stuff that they go through. And like it's like Scott Cawthorne, as much as I disagree with his like political affiliations, he knows how to really create a good and engaging game that has that storyline in there. Which is very, very interesting to think about, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, and the one thing is that a lot of people have actually said like that was essentially the end of Five Nights at Freddy's. Like that was supposed to be like the official end, so to speak.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, because like if you like, again, like this is going to be something that you'll see, like if you actually like go into it, you'll get more of an understanding. If you get the good ending in Five Night and the Pizzeria Simulator, you essentially, like, there everyone dies. And like
Oh wow.
yes, like that's actually supposed to be how it's supposed to end. That was the entire story, like, ending right there. And the way they actually have it like that is just such a fucking insane thing. Like if you actually go and watch
Uh-huh.
like the endings cutscene of Pizzeria Simulator, it ends off in one of the most epic speeches that you will ever hear in a game, in my opinion, because it really resonates when you really like listen to it, and like, and then when you actually get the full story, it's just like, oh fuck, this dude knows, he knew, he had all this, and it's like, shit, there's the whole thing. But then like, what was it? It was Help Wanted. That was the VR game. I think that came out. That actually had a very interesting storyline in there. Help Wanted, yeah. I feel like the easiest way to really kind of like explain the differences between it is like there is the original storyline from Five Nights at Freddy's to Pizzeria Simulator, and then there is the like the revival, so to speak, the revival arc, quote unquote. Like I think the easiest way to say this is the Afton arc is, you know, the first game to the Pizzeria Simulator, and then the revival arc was from Help Wanted till Security Breach. Whether or not it continues after that, I don't know. Possibly. I don't know if there's like anything like they said in regards to the actual like game, if there's going to be like stuff. I don't remember if they said there's going to be any DLC. Help Wanted does continue Afton, but here's the thing: again, like I said before, it's like it's the Afton arc. I'm not just talking about that one person. I'm talking about like the whole thing. Because again, if you actually go into the story, you'll see when I meant like, oh, that's the whole Afton arc. You'll kind of get it. And so I'm wondering where this goes. Like as much as I like will like kind of be enjoying, it's like obviously I'm not gonna be playing them. Cause out of all the horror games, this like the type that the first part was is kind of in my opinion. Like, I don't really like that style where it's like you sit in a room and you just do point and click stuff. Because personally, I find that boring.
Fair enough.
But then,
I think the whole point of like those games, in those horror types of game is like, the reason why it's scary is because you have a limited way of like fighting back. You have a limited way of doing things, and so the horror really just comes from that.
I mean, yeah, no, I get that. Like, again, survival horror is not one that I'm like against at all. Because again, you know, my favorite games within that is Outlast and Outlast 2. Both of those is essentially survival horror. You literally cannot fight. If you go up against it's literally run, hide, or die. That's it.
Yeah.
And honestly, again, like, even though, like, if you look at the storylines for both Outlast and Outlast 2, they're really fucking weird when you really look at them. But, like, the whole atmosphere of it is just really, like, it's really, like, I find it engaging. I like it. Survival horror usually would give a way to fight back, though. The thing is that a lot of the times when you really see like the survival horror, when they say survival horror, it's literally mean you survive. It never says to fight. Like like that's always the one thing about that.
It depends on the game. It depends on the game, really. It's like Resident Evil is survival horror, and so it gives you the ability to fight back. But games like Outlast don't.
Yeah, here's the way that it has it. So it's like, although combat can be part of the gameplay, the player is made to feel less in control than in typical action games through limited ammunitions or weapons, health, speed, and vision, or through various obstructions of the player's interaction with the game mechanics, i.e. using weapons. The player is also challenged to find items that unlock the path to new areas and solve puzzles to proceed in the game. Games make use of strong horror themes like dark, maze-like environments and unexpected attacks from enemies. And what if you know, Resident Evil is the first to be coined a survival horror game. Wow, that's kind of weird. Resident Evil is as old as me. Huh. That is so weird to think about. But yeah, that's kind of like that whole thing. Yeah, Predator. Oh, speaking of which, I honestly am kind of hyped to go through Dead Space again. I know that, like, are they doing what was it? A remake?
A remake. It's a remake of the first one. Now, as far as that goes, I think in my opinion, it just kind of depends on whether or not the actual thing runs well or not. Who is even the one behind it? Do we know?
Let me actually see. Hold up. Space. I don't trust it since didn't really need to remake. Oh yeah, it's not the OG devs. I mean, isn't Visceral gone?
Well, obviously it's not. Obviously it's not Visceral. I know that. I was just curious what company's doing it.
Yeah, I'm also. Let's see here.
It's Visceral Games is disbanded. Well, not disbanded. But,
no.
They were forced closed down by EA.
So here's the problem.
Huh.
Guess what's on?
I disagree with the idea that Dead Space didn't need a remake. The port on PC is absolute crap.
I didn't like. I like playing through it was a chore. I'll admit. I loved the feel of it, but yes, it's on Frostbite.
Never mind.
I didn't realize that. Okay, I take that back. Maybe I'll wait for another game.
Damn, the fact that it's on Frostbite just killed all my hype, dude.
Wait, Gunnar Wright is coming back as Isaac Clarke, who's actually going to be voiced in the first one. Well, in this remake, unlike the first one.
Wait, what? Why?
I think it was because they wanted to stick with the fact that Isaac Clarke is like an actual character, and you're not the character, so to speak. I forget how to really explain it properly, but they wanted to actually make it where it's actually Isaac, because in the first one they had him silent because he was just supposed to be like, you are imposed on him. That was like their whole type of the reason for it. Yeah. But then with Dead Space 2 and 3, they said, you know what, let's actually make Isaac an actual human being, not just a vessel that is filled by the player. And honestly, I think out of everything, yeah, he didn't have a voice because originally Dead Space was going to be System Shock 3. Yeah. Honestly, I'm still waiting for the fucking System Shock to come out. Like, shit. I bought it. I fucking pre-ordered that. But honestly, I think this year TM. Didn't they say that last year? But I think the one thing is that, and I think I feel like out of all this, overall within the Dead Space trilogy, personally, my favorite out of the trilogy was Dead Space 2. My favorite horror game out of the trilogy is Dead Space 1. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like Dead Space as a whole, Dead Space, the first one, was very good in scaring the living shit out of me. I bet that if you actually look in my Let's Play, I do not talk that much, and I rarely do that when it comes to horror games, and that's because I'm just listening. I'm trying to just keep my ass alive. And then I'm saying out of the best is 2 because it has, I would say, the balance of a good balance between the horror aspect as well as the action within it. Because it's not I like that balance. It was pretty nice because you still it still felt horror, but you also were it was more kind of fast-paced type deal. Dead Space 3 best co-op. I mean, honestly, let's be real. That's the only redeeming quality of that game. There is nothing else that I can say that was good about that game. Dead Space 3 was a fucking flop if you were on your own. And I played it on my own.
It's still wild to me how Carver's stuff feels Carver's story actually feels interesting.
Well, because the thing is Carver's story literally had the dynamics of what Dead Space was. Because Dead Space 3 was it's you gotta run and all this shit. Where's the horde? Oh, who fucking cares? We'll just have a couple of jump scares here and there. And then also, let's just toss in a fuck ton of microtransactions. It's and the story didn't make any fucking sense. Oh yeah, the icon. What was not the iconoclast? The fucking, I can't even think of it. The unitologist. The unitologist. There we go. You're trying to run away from the unitologist because Isaac is the key to stopping the markers from evolution or yada yada yada. And that's the whole thing going through. And so it's just it's so bad. I really fucking hate it.
You know what's weird? Is the opening of Dead Space 3 I feel was good, where you play as the other people on the ice planet?
Honestly,
I feel it sets up the way it sets up the game is pretty good.
That was
and then
perfect.
The rest of it, and then the only good part about the game other than that is Carver's stuff.
100%. Yes, I agree.
It's so weird how the opening is like, oh wow, this is actually fairly interesting and cool, and then it just takes a nosedive.
Honestly, talk about a cold opening. Literally, again, if you have not watched it, I've actually we did a let's play of that on the channel. Check that out. Where you essentially go through as as two privates for the armed, like for the military of the colonies. And so you were ordered to go find something called, that was a codex. And so you go into this, essentially this crash ship. You get the codex. Event what happens is then an avalanche happens. Your teammate dies. And then the other dude's he gives it to his commanding officer, the one who has reported to him, to say, yes, here's the codex. And then all of a sudden, he's like, thank you, thank you for your service. Bang! Blasts his head off, destroys whatever whatever was on that codex, and then just offs himself. All within 5 minutes, I think?
Basically.
5-10 minutes. It was literally the best setup. And then all of a sudden you just get dropped into this shitty action flick.
The thing is, I played that part and I was like, okay, I'm sold on this game. And then everything else happened. And I'm just right.
It's not good. It was not good. And do you know what the shittiest part was? Is that the ending that we went through, that wasn't the official ending.
Oh, I know, because of the DLC.
And the DLC is the actual true ending, and I'm just like, nah, man, I don't care for it.
It's the mood.
It's the mood. I still fucking love it. It was just literally the whole thing. Yeah, 1 hour DLC essentially for what, $15? Fuck that shit. I mean, I think the only interesting thing is that within that, I heard you fight each other, thinking you both were enemies, thinking each other was an enemy, because of the how the marker affected your psyche. I think that would have been.
I watched someone play it, and I genuinely cannot remember what happened in that DLC other than the actual ending.
I saw the ending, and I was just like, this is fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Visceral, no. If you're gonna do shit like this, please at least make the game interesting. I hate it so much. It's always interesting though. The best part about it is, well, you have you ever seen those comparisons of who had it worse? Master Chief dealing with the flood, the Doom guy dealing with hell, and then Isaac with the necromorphs. And everyone's like, I feel like the demons would be the problem. And then it's people are just really forgetting the main issue here. Master Chief was a modified super soldier who was initially created to what's it called? I think the Spartan program was to squash colonial rebellions that eventually became the fighting force of the UNSC within the war with the Covenant. Doom Guy is a sentinel who was literally bred to fight demons to protect mankind. Isaac Clarke was an engineer who did not sign up for any of that shit. He went through there, likely got enough PTSD to essentially not survive beyond the incursion twice. And then goes and then saves the world. You can't tell me that Isaac Clarke had it worse than all three of them. There's no way anybody can tell me otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically.
It sucks too. It really does. Ugh.
I'm just, you know, at this point, I'm just wondering if Infinite is gonna retcon who the villain is in the next DLC or not.
I don't know. I'm like it. I'm just. It just feels weird because like we look at like Halo Infinite again. Don't give me spoilers. I am gonna go through that. Um, and like knowing that essentially we're not really dealing with the Guardians within it, at least as far as I know, kind of feels weird because I feel like if it's not dealing with the the main villain, so to speak, or the main arc, because I would say that this would be considered the quote unquote
Well, here's the thing, right?
like how what would you call this arc? Because you had the Covenant War
Yeah,
arc.
Halo 343 can't seem to decide who's going to be the villains because here's the thing, right? Halo 4. Oh, the new main villain is a rogue forerunner who we end up killing at the end of 4.
Quick
The
time
new
event.
main villain is Cortana in Halo 5, who is if you follow the marketing or watch the trailers at all, who is dead at the beginning of Halo Infinite, died off screen. Why? Halo Infinite. Oh yeah, by the way, the new villains are the banished, but not actually. They're actually this new enemy. And I'm like, what is happening?
I don't know if they want
343. I liked Infinite because it had really good character moments. The character story in Infinite is really good. The actual plot is barely there. I was like, there's a plot, but I don't care about the plot. I'm more invested in the character story than I am in the plot.
Yeah,
And so I was like, wow, I really like the pilot and the weapon and Chief. Wow, they are getting some really good character development in this. But what the fuck is happening with the actual story?
So I think the one thing, and you brought this up, I think the one thing that can be good and something that I'm actually looking forward to playing is the development of Chief. Because they did not do that in Halo 5. They literally set it up where we can see him more as a human. Because, from Halo 1 to 3, it was like super soldier hardcore. And then Halo 4 kind of brought into this he actually may have some type of understanding of feelings.
The thing about 4 is that Chief talks all the time. All the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. It's very jarring to go from a Chief that barely talks to a Chief that talks all the time. But in Infinite feels like what Halo 4's Chief should have started as, and Halo 4 feels like what we should have now. The reason why I say that is because Halo Infinite's Chief is a combination of a talking Chief and the silent badass that we had in the original trilogy. When he talks, he talks more than he did in the original trilogy, but when he talks in Halo Infinite, it feels like it's a Chief that's finally opening up, rather than a Chief that's fully open in 4. And I feel like Halo Infinite, the way Chief acts in it, should have been the way he acted in 4.
Honestly, it's just I always it sucks.
I love Infinite. I think the campaign overall is a good thing, and they're moving the story in a good direction. I am so confused by 343 being unable to commit to a villain and being unable to commit to a direction. Because here's the thing. As much as I didn't like Halo 5 making Cortana the villain, I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm fully interested in seeing how we kick her ass and bring back everything. And then we don't get that.
Yeah.
Why? Because, hey, by the way, we killed her off screen.
I fucking hate that. I really do.
And I'm just like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't fucking believe it. I was so pissed off. Because I'm just like, yeah, there's so much concept art that has come out showing Cortana as like the ruler of all these different worlds that I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. And you're saying that's concept art for Infinite?
And it's
What
like
the
not
fuck
there.
happened in this 6 years?
It's like not there. Like, fuck it. I'm just
Also, like, I'm genuinely confused as to whether Spartan Locke is dead or not. I don't know if Lasky's alive or not. I don't know who is dead or alive or not. I know specific Spartans are dead because of certain audio logs and things. I don't know whether Locke and Lasky are alive or not because it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna be very vague about it, and I'm just like, please just tell me if they're dead or alive. And you know what? I would rather Locke be alive because as much as I don't like Locke as a character, I think it's really fucking stupid to introduce a main character just to kill him off screen.
343 is a studio. Who faults you can't blame on Microsoft? Honestly, here's the thing. There's
It's
very few things.
That also goes for DICE and who else were we talking about earlier?
It was DICE and then who else? Fuck. I think it was just DICE and
No, there was someone else we were talking about DICE as well.
The developer studios of Activision. Treyarch,
I don't think we were talking about Treyarch in the world.
No, it was Treyarch. I remember now. I remember it was because of the fact of what was it? Of them not knowing how to do the campaign because they can't keep its story straight. And then they said, fuck it.
Oh yeah, Black Ops 4, that's right.
Yep. See, the thing is that I don't really see many games that I can blame Microsoft for. Like, I really can't. Like, I actually want to know when Microsoft has ever actually intervened.
Here's the thing, right? Microsoft keeps them on the leash, but they also don't like to intervene with making the game.
Because it's like...
They will give them a set parameters of what they need to be, and that's all they'll do.
I mean, there's a reason why Microsoft is a $2.5 trillion company.
I need to call 343 out, because we know this game has been in development for 6 years, and yet you're going to tell me that this game that's been in development for 6 years doesn't have basic features that Halo 5 did when it only took you 3 years to develop that game.
I don't get it either,
Why is Forge not in the game? Why is co-op not in the game?
Why is like half of the fun shit had to be added in later? Like, oh, I don't know, Slayer queue. A Slayer queue. Why did that have to be added in later? It doesn't make sense to me. It really does not make any sense.
I also feel the need to call them out about the customization, and not in the way you're probably thinking. Why did we start off with a Halo Reach thing? Why does Halo Infinite not have its own identity when it comes to armor? We are going off of Halo Reach and all these other old stuff instead of giving Halo Infinite its own identity in armor.
Honestly, though, because free to play, yeah, that still does not mean shit.
I would be okay with them using free to play excuse if like the multiplayer didn't have like all these monetization issues.
Like the fact that essentially,
because it doesn't make sense to me how its monetization happened, because you have all these other games to base it off of. Look at Apex Legends. Look at Fortnite. Look at like Valorant. Look at all these different games where it's like, okay, actually take Valorant away because its monetization isn't great. But look at all these other free-to-play games, and look how much better they're doing with their current models. Why do we need to make all customization crappy? Why is there no unlockable customization outside of buying stuff from the store and the battle pass.
They tried basing it off of Fortnite. Well, here's my thing, and this is like a very, very like straight up thing for me, is that I'm dying. Is that the way?
But then the Fortnite thing is also kind of weird because I can understand maybe the customization aspect since there's no base customization. But then the battle pass aspect doesn't make sense to me when you can literally like level up in that game outside of a battle pass. And Halo Infinite doesn't have that.
I think my main issue is the fact of not the of not like the whole monetization of it, but the fact that customization is so fucking limited. Like, it gives this false sense of freedom to customize, but like there's that asterisk in there. Like, the fact that there's an asterisk in there pisses me off, because it's like, okay, why?
I think the butt should also be based off of the fact that Infinite's customization issue, the biggest issue facing its customization right now. Yeah, the armor core.
You need a fucking armor core
where you cannot. Which, by the way, people found out that it's bullshit that you can't mix and match from armor cores, and the reason why is because of bots.
Huh?
And you know what? Because if you play against bots, people have found that the bots can spawn with a mix of Yoroi sets and Mark 7 sets and Mark 6 sets. The bots can literally spawn with literally any gear randomized on them.
I hate that. I think the shittiest part is not the fact that, oh, like this, it's how stupid it is the fact that we literally have something that Bungie, their fucking precursor studio, has done that does not require that. Halo fucking Reach. Halo Reach literally is like, oh, here's a couple of our designs. Actually, wait, here's a better one. Here's every single modified different armor system that we've had. We have the Mark 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. We have the gun gear. We have, like, you have every single one. You got CQC. You have EOD. They literally created like 15 different sets of armors, and the best part is that you can unlock each and every single one and modify it in each different way, and you can connect it to each and different fucking part without a fucking core in sight. You can change the colors.
Man, it's depressing when I would rather play Destiny and use its customization system, Halo Infinite.
Like, it sucks. It fucking sucks. That was the one thing that I really wish they didn't fuck up on. If they did not fuck up on that, I would be playing that. That would definitely be the game that I would be playing this often. But no, they don't have that. Why? Because money. Like, literally, if they did not have the armor cores, then I would be a little bit more tolerable. It's bit.
Weird because the Chief Collection doesn't have armor cores, and it does just fine.
I know, exactly. It's essentially, oh, hey, here you go, have an unlock. Oh, here, have an unlock. Here, have an unlock. Like, it makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense on why we essentially have to deal with a group of stupid fucking shit when we have been used to the same game having the customization of literally just, oh, unlock it and you can use it. You don't have to purchase anything. You don't have to change anything. There you go. Like, there it is, all there. And it's
so
like,
Halo Infinite is supposed to be our game for the next 10 years. It's supposed to be essentially
Destiny 2 of Halo.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep it. Its campaign is supposed to grow, and I'm gonna be real honest. I'm interested in seeing what the new enemy is, But at the same time, I'm like,
It's yeah.
why did we need another new enemy type?
I mean, speaking of Destiny, at least we're going back to Mars. Just not Mars, so to speak.
Seemingly. I don't know if we might get Mars back actually.
I do like. Here's the thing: I don't think we're gonna get Mars back, and the reason is because I do still think that lore-wise, the planet is still off limits because of the dark, like either because of the darkness or the fact that Savathun is essentially taken station there. And so I do not believe that she would just allow us to kind of roam through Mars that easily. If I'm proven wrong, and I will be happy about that. I'll be 100% happy.
It's possible we'll like we may only unlock. Well, I don't know. I feel like because they said that they would be bringing back something from the old game every year. If I remember correctly, like an old location.
I mean,
So if it's not Mars, then what would it be?
and before they bring back the Dreadnought.
Logically, it would make sense.
Yeah, it does. Like, it does. Honestly, I would not be surprised if somehow the story brings us to the Dreadnought. The main storyline will bring us to the Dreadnought. I'm kind of hoping for that now that I think about it.
At the same time, you have to somehow fit that into the new light narrative as well.
Well, I think it's actually going to be very easy to, so to speak, because the thing is that we've had it where the Dreadnought has been not talked about, but they have brought in like aspects that the old players know into the new light experience.
Yeah, so our expansion is going to be February releases from now on.
I don't know,
because I feel like there wouldn't be enough time in 2022 to do a full 4 season.
I think here's like honestly the way that I'm thinking of it.
Unless they decide to cut 2 seasons in half.
I don't know. I think here's the thing. I do not believe that there's still going to be enough time. Personally, I'm thinking that this is a 2-year one. Where the next expansion we get is not 2-year one. Sorry, my bad. Let me reiterate that.
Year and a half.
A 1.5 one, yeah.
Or we'll get it in like summer 2023.
I'm thinking fall. Possibly September, worst case scenario November. Because I like as much as I want
a 1.5 basically between each thing then.
I mean, I wouldn't say for each thing. Because again, like I
feel like Lightfall and the final shape would need extra time, both of them, since they're supposed to represent huge events.
That's
like
true.
Witch Queen is supposed to represent our fight against Savathun. Lightfall has some serious fucking crazy connotations between the name Lightfall and the fact that the pyramid is with the traveler in that image.
Not only that,
above the city. But there's some serious implications from that.
But did you also see the one thing of the final shape? There's a possibility. Well, because here's the thing. Again, like, you know, the indication is that we might be going up against Zero Wrath, possibly, if Savathun is killed within Witch Queen. But then there's also the other part that it could be literally the final fight. Like, that entire year is the final fight between because again, that's the end of the Light and Dark saga. What if that's sort of the end, like the Infinity War of Destiny 2?
Maybe.
And then, because I'm thinking like the final shape, it can mean multiple things. It could mean, again, we fight one of the sisters. You know, the triplets, or this is going to be like, okay, which is the final like victor? Is it the cultivators, or the oh what are they called? I can't even remember. Because there was a specific name that they were used for both both like with the light and the dark. And it's not the ones that we use. Like, there was a specific thing that was brought up. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Let me see if I can get the name. Because there was a very specific one that, traveler's name. Because if I remember correctly,
isn't it the traveler is like the gardener and the darkness is the winnower?
yes, that was it. That was yes. The traveler was the gardener. The darkness was the winnower. Yeah. So it's like, between the two, because again, like that, that whole thing is just like, is always going to be like something there. And I don't know. Like, I am just really, really like kind of hyped for this.
I mean, next month in general, I'm very hyped for, because there's a series of things coming out, right?
Yeah.
Because we have Witch Queen, which we're finally going to get answers for Savathûn. We have a game I've been looking forward to for a while, Horizon Forbidden West. We have
Wait, is that gonna be a Sony exclusive, or at least timed exclusive? Okay.
As far as we're aware, it will be a Sony exclusive, at least time wise. We do not know if it will be like like coming out on a PC anytime soon.
Knowing them, they're definitely gonna bring it over to PC, because I really feel like,
You know what scares me though?
What?
Horizon Forbidden West, that Witch Queen and Elden Ring come out way too close to each other. Do you know when all three of those games come out?
Isn't it within the same 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, and again, I think I'm very.
Let me put this into perspective. Horizon Forbidden West comes out on Friday, February 18th. Destiny 2 Witch Queen comes out on February 26th, on 22nd, the Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Elden Ring comes out 3 days later on the 25th.
Yep. That makes sense. And do you know what the best part is?
What?
I got the 21st. I have the 21st off. I took both the 23rd, the 22nd, and the 23rd off. And
I'm not taking any days off for it except for like raid day,
Personally, for me, the only reason why I'm taking it off is because, one, it's also like around that time there's also other stuff that I needed to do too. So
yeah.
That was something that I wanted to take off first.
Besides, I already asked for 4 days in March.
Wait, why March?
2 for the raid, like the 5th and 6th.
Yeah.
And 2 because Hololive's going to have a concert in March on the 19th and 20th, where EN are finally going to have their first time performing on stage with the rest of with everyone else.
Is it like a live stream, like exclusive thing, or?
It's a live stream thing, I think.
Oh, hey, that's cool. It's not my thing, but just like with the whole Fortnite and like Roblox stuff, if you enjoyed that shit, go friggin' enjoy that shit, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Next month is just really way too fucking stacked.
Well, I mean, the good thing is
we have this month ending with Pokemon. We have next month opening
with zombies.
Dying Light.
Personally,
Crossfire is also coming out next month.
Wait, Crossfire?
Yeah, the Xbox exclusive from Remedy on February 10th.
Oh no. Yeah, Crossfire X.
So we have next month opening with like zombies and then going into Crossfire and then eventually leading to Horizon Forbidden West, Destiny, and Elden Ring. Why is next month so fucking stacked?
I don't know. I think the interesting part is that I completely forgot that Remedy Entertainment worked with did the Crossfire series. I like completely forgot about that.
I'm excited for April though.
How? Well,
because Lego Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, it's primarily because look, Karis, it was a little bit ago that we talked about Crossfire, okay? And honestly, I always forget that Remedy makes Crossfire because I always thought Remedy was with like the whole Alan Wake series, Control, Quantum Break. So, shut up. Oh, that's interesting. I can't wait for what's it called? For Alan Wake 2. Speaking of Remedy. I am fucking hyped for that. Like that is like that is going to be super nice. Because I really wanted to see a sequel to this since I played it back in like 2000 I think 2012 I think. No, not 2012.
Is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands going to be crossplay? Have they said anything about that yet?
I don't think so. I did not hear anything.
Because I'm debating buying it on PS5 because I don't trust it to run well on PC, you know?
Yeah. Let me see here. No, not Tiny Tina. I mean, Tiny Tina, yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. Free purchase. Show more. Party up. It doesn't say. There hasn't been anything about that, at least from what I'm seeing.
There's still a month and there's still like 2 months before it comes out, so I can wait.
What are we talking about? We're talking about Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
And whether it has crossplay or not.
Yeah, crossplay.
Nothing has come out about it.
Yeah, 2K has still not said shit about it. Oh, yeah. I mean, personally for me, I'm not a huge Borderlands person, so I'm not gonna, say anything.
I'm excited for it. It looks fun.
I mean, I enjoyed the story of that, but so it is. System Shock remake coming along. Oh, beta test. Okay. Fucking. Tadushi fucking sends me a picture because it loads up the thumbnail and I just look like a fucking pissed off Indian dude trying to fly. That's great. But I kind of wanted to also kind of ended off on what's it called? Finally read my DMs. I did read your DMs because got that. I mean, oh shit, that remake looks fucking sick. That's actually kind of cool. I'm very happy about that. But the one thing that I will always kind of like, I wanted to kind of end it off on is a bit of anime stuff. I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but this season has been very good in terms of anime releases. You know, like if you have not seen the schedule for it, there's a bunch of like, you know, there is the red light district arc of Demon Slayer that's going on right now, which was, you know, precursor to which was before after the Mugen Train arc. 100%. Like if you like, again, that was also a movie too. So if you watch the movie, you can kind of like go to the red light district arc. If you want to watch the show, go right ahead. I ain't gonna blame you. But the latest episode came out today at like, and I watched it before, and oh my god. I have, you know how like when you see a fight scene that is just amazing, you're just like, I just want to watch this forever. And it's just like, it's perfect. Because the one thing is that the fight scene that happens is essentially like majority of this episode. And it's just like, it's great because of just the fact of, you know, just fighting, like, and the choreography has always been something of a very interesting, like, just setup. And so when they get into the fight choreography, it's just really fucking good. And then obviously, you know, if you haven't heard, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2 is out. They're not pulling any punches. They have just gone straight into it. I have yet to see the latest episode of that. I haven't had the time to. I'm definitely going to be watching it afterwards. But so far, they're very quick on providing what people wanted to see in terms of fights. Like, it is actually very interesting. Like, it is a very good like anime so far. Like, you know, I haven't had any complaints about it. There's a bunch of other ones that have come out. There's season 2 of How Realists Will Rebuild a Kingdom. That one's a good one. Again, it's not something that, if you are like a fan of kind of like the isekai, like what was the one? Because I remember Giga kind of went over it. Oh yeah, like if you have watched Reincarnated as a Slime, but like, or more interested in kind of like the development and the economy type stuff, that's like, you know, this is a good show for you. Personally, I like that, so it's pretty good.
Wait, what show? What?
How Realist like rebuilds a kingdom.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yep. I like it. It's actually really cool when you really look at it, because a lot of people would say it's like, it's pretty mundane compared to it, and like, yeah, if you really see all the other types of isekais, it's really fucking mundane. Like, it is boring. You haven't had the interest to watch the new stuff for Attack on Titan or Re:Zero. I honestly like did need to watch Re:Zero 2. I have not seen the second part. Like, I think I've only seen the original trilogy and just kind of like half-assed like a few of the episodes and just stopped watching. I don't know why, but it's just like, whatever. Another one that I would I would recommend is also, if you have not heard of this, My Dress Up Darling, you are missing out. It is a very good anime because of just the fact of like, it's good. To give you a kind of a quick summary, a popular girl wants to be a cosplayer. A doll maker who is only good at really making the clothing for the dolls, the Hina dolls, finds out, and it's like, oh, like, why don't you help me out in making all these, you know, these cosplays? And that's essentially the entire thing. And it's great. Because it's great. A very interesting version of an isekai, because technically it's not really considered an isekai, but it is an isekai, is The Strongest Sage of the Disqualified Crest. And the reason why I say this is an isekai but not an isekai is because literally the main character goes into a reincarnation and reincarnates thousands of years later in the same world. So it's like the same world, but also not the same world. So technically, you get my point. That's actually a really good one. I like that. There is... What are the ones over there? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember off the top of my head. I mean, there's like a bunch that have come out. Like, personally, I'm not watching, but like other people have said it was pretty good. But I think those are the main ones that I'm watching. I mean, there's another one, but that's just like, of course, I'm just a fucking degenerate. Long story short, I'm just gonna give a quick little what's it called? The little thing about it. Hey, all the men are dead in this world, so there's like 5 dudes. Yeah, you can figure out the rest.
Yeah.
Have you watched that one? Because I saw that you've been like that you may have know about it. I don't know though.
I don't think I have. My brain is fried right now. I haven't really watched anime in like the past 2 months, so if anything's been like airing, I
Really? Wow. Okay. That is surprising to me, actually. But
I've been watching a lot of live action shows like Kingdom.
I heard Kingdom was good. Kingdom was good.
Really
Peanut
good
has
show, and it just like
Peanut has
it really made me scared of zombies again.
Yeah. It's very hard to not be scared of that. I mean, the good thing is that having that feel is really nice. I think
because zombies have kind of been overplayed, and so it's like kind of zombies are kind of meh now. But then Kingdom did zombies in such a like frightening way that I was like, okay, I'm very uncomfortable right now.
I mean, here's the thing: we've seen the Western zombies. We are starting to see the Eastern zombies. Like, I think the worst, personally for me, the scariest zombie that I have seen from a Western film would have been World War Z. And that's just because they made them stupidly, like, overpowered as fuck. For no reason. Because if you actually read, like, the book itself, it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense on how this has happened. And, like, they go through it fairly well. No issues. But then, you know, we have this whole thing going through in the movie. It's like, action! Oh, that's like, And it's like, okay, dude, why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And then, obviously, game-wise, I think the scariest time was technically would have been Evil Within, but it wasn't really like zombie, so to speak. It was just like like mobs that like essentially acted like zombies. I don't know if you can really call it that or what. So that's kind of like the thing for it.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead zombies are lore-wise scary. Oh yes, 100% I agree. I
should probably get around to playing Back 4 Blood.
Do you have it on the game? Is it? Oh yeah, it is on the Game Pass.
Remember?
Yeah. Forgot about
I'm
that.
a Game Pass boy.
Of course you are. Of course you are. I mean, overall, I don't know. I think there hasn't really been. I think that the zombie genre has like kind of. I wouldn't say died, because obviously they're undead. But that's. Well, it's just kind of how it is. Karis cannot recommend Back 4 Blood. So,
The thing is, I've looked at the Reddit, I've looked at reviews and all, and just a lot of the reviews that give it shit are people who, like, want it to be Left 4 Dead 3 when the game was clearly never going to be Left 4 Dead 3. And they're like, oh, well, Left 4 Dead 2 had this kind of detail on it. I'm like, why do I need to care about whether I can shoot a gravestone in a game? Why is that genuine? That's nitpicking at that point. Like I saw someone who was a review who was talking about that, and I'm like, that is straight up nitpicking at that point. And now because of it, I've just disregarded your fucking review.
I mean, personally,
I'm okay with like comparing a lot of things, but when your whole point is, oh, this game's better than Back 4 Blood because you can shoot a gravestone, get the fuck out of here.
Personally, for me, the only reason why I don't like it is the fact of the card system. I really don't like the card system.
I think it depends, right? Because the card system is apparently more in-depth in the actual game. I don't quite know because we only really got a small taste of it.
I mean, I understand.
I didn't quite like it in the beta, but like I'm curious as to how it different in like how it is in the actual full game.
I mean, like, I guess like for me again, it's still one of those things where it's like if it has to be based off of like RNG, if you pull the card that you need, that's kind of like a type thing. Like that's a yikes, because the thing is that when you have it where like you're at a high level, like at the final area type deal, like whatever it is, like I'm thinking of friggin' Killing Floor when I'm saying Hell on Earth, but you know what I mean, like the highest difficulty. The fact that I literally need to hope that I get a decent enough card to go through this is kind of a slight concern.
As far as I saw, the cards weren't really affecting us too badly. What did they say they would do, Karen?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of like wondering that too. It's like they said they wouldn't do something, and they did exactly that. What was it exactly? Because I did not know like much of it. Like I didn't look into
I've not heard anything about that.
Like that's actually kind of interesting to think about. Sprint jumping, not consuming stamina while in the air. Okay, I that's a bit like I don't know.
That's nitpicky. I'm
That's
sorry, but
that's
that's
a
fucking nitpicky.
that's a
While I
bit
while
like
I agree, it's kind of dumb for them to go back on that. That is straight up nitpicky.
like the one thing is that like as much as I would say like yeah it I mean it's yeah sure it's the only tech in the game, but the one thing is that how often does that become such a huge hindrance to it? They literally talked to a speedrunner. They told them, "Oh, don't worry, we won't remove that." I mean, we don't know like what it is. Like it kind of sucks if they just like that they blatantly lied to the community. Like yeah, like that is hard to deal with. A lot of fixes in the same update we were told or stuff he told them. I mean, it's still the fact of how everything is like unless it's like a huge aspect of it, I'm not really gonna like be that concerned of it. Because again, granted, personally for me, I'm not a speedrunner. I'd like to go through things quickly, but that's after I've played through it, and so I'm not that's not going to be a huge aspect to me. That's not going to be like an issue, so to speak. And I feel like sprint jumping should not be a big deal in terms of it. The one thing was that I had a kind of a concern is that when it came to the actual like AI in there,
I'm looking this up and I can't find anything about sprint jumping.
I've seen how the AI work in the like the full game. I don't like it.
I generally cannot find anything about sprint jumping.
Yeah, really? That's unfortunate.
Like I'm finding like all these like different videos about sprint jumping, but I can't find anything about like the
There's an entire how the
dev.
Black for Blood devs killed speedrunning community video. Huh. That's interesting. I might want to I might check that out actually. Cuz that actually sounds kind of interesting. I think the one thing that is going to be a nice time, personally for me, is going to be able to just kind of like.
I mean, I can understand wanting to speedrun, but
I
to
mean,
be honest, I feel like speedrunning, unless you're doing that with like your own friends who are okay with it, I feel like ruins the overall game. For like games like Back for Blood that are reliant on matchmaking.
I mean the fact that one's relying on
Look
matchmaking.
at how much shit the community gives each other in Destiny for speedrunning through shit. Because like new lights want to play this game. Some people just want to go through the game casually, but then people speedrun, and it's probably the same for Back for Blood. It was the same with Left 4 Dead. I know because I've seen these complaints in Left 4 Dead.
Oh yeah, that was
Speedrunning, as cool as it is, I feel like if you're doing that in public matches, I feel like it's better for the devs to patch it out. Because when it gets to be a point that it's ruining like the public experience, it's kind of not good.
Personally for me, the way that I
As
think
cool
of
as
it,
speedrunning can be and as fun as it is to watch people speedrun, I just don't think speedrunning belongs in group match made games.
the only thing that I would say is that speedrunning is good if it was something where you had to go in as a group. Like the raids or the dungeons, stuff where it's like you need to have all three people to do it or
Well,
you do
normally
it on your own.
In Destiny, like it's like if you go into raid to speedrun, you're doing it as a group.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that like in
Oh, speedrunning was done in the solo
like
mode where you have
that's
all
not
the
true.
cards.
That's not true because I'm looking up shit on
That's,
Reddit and I'm seeing a bunch of complaints about it happening in matchmaking. So that's automatically a lie.
I mean, I think the one thing is that like because there's like official speedrunning and then there's like that stupid shit, like the stunts that that you're reading. Because official speedrunning, yes, like the way that like speedrunning is,
It's like I said, I don't have a problem with it when it's like people doing it by themselves,
no,
but
yeah,
when it starts to bleed over into match-made content,
no, 100%. Look,
it's
I agree.
affecting so much more shit. And that's why the strike experience in Destiny 2 is kind of fucking ass. It's just like one person starts speedrunning and then like the other two people are left behind and have no real way of catching up.
Yeah.
It's like, you remember back in Beyond Light when Beyond Light launched and the new strike came out?
Oh yeah.
My first experience in that strike, someone was already speedrunning it.
That's fun. I think,
and I hated it because I was like, I really wanted to play and enjoy the strike, but I can't because someone's just skipping through everything already.
Yeah. That's kind of why like it sucks, because I feel like, or make it how like Left 4 Dead did it, had the special zombies and hordes target the ones farther ahead, basically making sure they die. Wait, they don't have that in Back 4 Blood? I thought they would. I love that mechanic. That was the best mechanic of Left 4 Dead. Like,
was the mechanic in the first one or the second one?
I think in the second one.
Well, you gotta remember, it's a different developer. Left 4 Dead 2 was not Turtle Rock.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Could have actually been the first one.
People keep forgetting this, but Left 4 Dead 2 was not Turtle Rock.
It was not Turtle Rock, yeah. Even though they worked on the DLC, which is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That just seems so weird. But I still think that would have been a really good mechanic. That would have been a really good anti speedrun mechanic. So it's like, if you're in a match-made event, guess what? You're gonna be targeted. But if you're in like if you're doing it solo, hey, guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. Boat kick would have also been a good mechanic. Yeah. That honestly would have been also.
I think boat kick would have helped, but the boat kick is always kind of a mixed bag, because then you run into situations like where you have Siege, where people intentionally troll each other with a boat kick system.
Yeah, like fucking Peanut does. Then we do it back to him next game. It's fun. But it kind of gets annoying. It gets annoying fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Overall, I think that in this scenario that we're in terms of this, like, how everything is when it comes to games, it's gonna be interesting. Also remember, PvE isn't as toxic as
Well, that's a damn lie.
Oh, there's a lot of communities that will give you the other opposite impression. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Someone's never played Gears of War.
Oh yeah. Horde mode. Fucking nightmare. Raids. Oh, so bad. So bad.
Outriders. Just Outriders in general, to be honest.
Dude, Outriders made us fucking hate everything.
Like, PvE has a lot of toxic players. The idea that
like, I'm not gonna
PvE can't be as toxic as Siege is PvP. I feel like that's fairly ignorant when you look at any PvE game with matchmaking.
Mentioning games you've never touched. Yeah, so I wouldn't be. So yeah, that's kind of where that I can understand the the comment, because of the fact that you were not exposed to that while we were. Like, one thing that I'll always say is toxicity is everywhere that you go. If the game is connected, it can be connected to online, it's gonna have toxicity. The only thing is that how accessible is that toxicity? That's the one thing. Like, for example, in like, you know, in Siege, you will be able to, like, it's almost in every other match in, you know, in ranked and unranked. In Destiny, it is so much within like PvE that I feel like PvE actually outshines the toxicity in PvP. Personally, I believe it's that way. Now, again, you know, there's horde mode. Fucking nightmare when it comes to it in Gears. And so it's like, again, it's just all based around that accessibility of it. Because, you know, like if you had an Xbox 360, oh boy, that's freaking Xbox Live was the shit talking community. God, that was literally a cesspool of just the worst of the worst. You played COD on 360? Did you use a mic? Because if you used a mic, yeah, you know those lobbies.
Call of Duty Zombies is also really toxic. Call of Duty, any Call of Duty that has the PvE system is really toxic.
Literally play any search and destroy match, you're gonna have some shit go down.
No, not search and destroy. I mean, obviously yes, but I'm just like Call of Duty and like it's it's like third game mode. Like, you know, it's like how you have survival or spec ops or zombies.
Oh yeah.
Players are fucking toxic as hell.
I don't know. Normally I do those like solo or with a friend. I never do it like with other people.
I know, but the point stands that matchmaking is still toxic. Like,
I don't remember again any toxic zombies match in Black Ops 2. That's because no one liked Black Ops 2 zombies. Everyone says that those maps were the worst. Yes, they did. I mean, yeah, maybe. But I mean, like, I doubt it was actually people who were, like, actively talking.
Black Ops 2 literally has the worst zombies map in Transit and Die Rise.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I like Die Rise.
But it also
like
has it also has the best map with Mob of the Dead. Or at least one of the best maps with Mob of the Dead.
I personally think it's the best map out of Black Ops 2, easy.
No, Die Rise was absolute garbage in it. Like, Die Rise was like awful.
I didn't have that much of an issue with Die Rise, but again, I only did it like 3 times for the story, and that was it. Like for the lore, and that was it. I never touched it after that.
Die Rise is too much verticality in the map.
I mean, I liked the verticality. It was different.
Verticality is fine, but when your entire map is literally just vertical, and nothing else, there's a problem.
Yeah, true. Bird was a good map. I like the settings change. That was nice.
Like Black Ops 2 was really just like the problem with Black Ops 2 was it was really just Transit and Die Rise that were problems. Because people liked Mob of the Dead, Buried, and Origins.
I liked the look of, like, I liked Origins, but I hated the fact of how they kind of, like, the storyline for Origins, because it's just like, and this was before the rest of the storyline was actually developed, so this just felt really, really awkward. Just they're like, oh hey, this was just a story that was made by 2 kids. Like, what the fuck? It was just like, I hated that.
I think it's more complicated than that, if I remember correctly, though.
Oh, 100%, yes. Again, like I said, it was like, at that time, I was just like, did not like the story aspect of it. Origins is still a wonderful map. the wonder weapons in it was really cool. The dynamics of the gameplay with it, especially if you were going through the storyline, was really cool, especially like, you know, because you had like these different things. And then also, you had massive fucking mechs. You had Liberty Primes going through France. That was awesome. I still love just like, I always called them Liberty Primes because essentially that's what they reminded me at the time.
Yeah.
I know one of my friends said they were just Iron Giants. I was like, Liberty Prime sounds better. But I think, what was my favorite zombies map? What was it? I think my favorite zombies map of all time? Honestly? I would say, Kino. Kino de Torton was my favorite one. You hated Kino? Really? Why? I loved it. I remember freaking farming it all on the stage, and it's like, emergency! You just roll around the entire place. It was great. I didn't have any issues with it. Again, you know, personal preferences aside. You and your friend only played the World at War remakes, never Kino? I get that.
Kino was a good map. I just feel like it was overrated a bit.
Personally, I liked it just because, one, at that time, I didn't have the DLCs, and I was just, like, really engrossed into it.
Because Kino's a really good map for, like, starting. Like, it is...
Oh!
There's a reason why people remember Black Ops 1, and it's because Kino is, like, the starting map always sets the tone for how people feel about zombies.
Yeah.
And so, like, Kino was really good at setting the tone.
I did like dolphin diving down the stairs and dying. That was always fun to do. Just like, oh, time to end this round. Time to end this game. Oh, what was the...
It's weird to think that dolphin diving used to be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm so used to the slide now.
The slide now. Yeah, the slide's the thing.
Hey, Toxic.
What's up?
When are you gonna try out 14, bitch?
Oh! Oh, you know what? I completely forgot that this was in Black Ops and not Black Ops 2. Moon was actually my favorite zombies map.
Yeah, I didn't like Moon.
I completely forgot. I liked it because what's it called? It wasn't the map in particular, but it was a modded map of Moon that I really enjoyed. Because what it was is that it was essentially like an underwater mining facility, and it was so cool. Like you had the same things for it. And it was like, you know, you had like your diving suit, which was a space suit. And then it also had its own little Easter egg, but it was completely different from what you would have from the other one. Because what happened is that in the Easter egg of this, you can like destroy different like pieces of the actual area. And like those were part of it. And you can control the mining drills and all that. And it was just like, it was perfect. Yeah. So I was never able to finish.
My favorite zombies map was Call of the Dead in Black Ops 1. My favorite map from Black Ops 1 was Call of the Dead.
Yeah.
I just think it was a lot of fun, especially when you had Mr. Romero chasing you.
I found that great. And when you kill him, he drops, I think, what, the he drops, I think, a perk, and then either
I don't remember
I
what
think it
he
was
dropped.
a
I just
death
remember that
machine.
like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I also remember hating Ascension.
Ascension was fuck
And
those
like
monkeys.
it wasn't even the map design that I hated on Ascension, right? It was the fucking monkey.
Again, those monkeys are pieces of shit. You could not tell me that those little space shits are just like, oh, yoink, motherfucker. I hated it. I hated it so much. Oh god, it was so fucking annoying. It was not my day on that. It was definitely not. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, and the map you're thinking of, Karis, is there Eisendrach.
Oh yeah.
That was a really fun map in Black Ops 3.
Oh yeah, Gorod Colby. I remember watching that. I remember playing a little bit of that. What was Darius again? I'm trying to remember.
Darius was from World at War. It was the one with the you had to turn on all the different power switches.
That's the one with the teleport in the middle, right?
Yeah, the teleporter in the middle
Yep.
where like the pack you activate all the teleporters to go back to activate the
The pack punch.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember that one. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one.
I mean, it's a fairly popular one considering it gets remade all the fuck.
Yeah, then you have Nuketown zombies all the time. You like the remake of Darius in Black Ops 3? Yeah. What was the one that oh, what was it? I'm trying to remember exactly. I can't remember it. I can't fucking remember. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't remember.
Which one?
Where they had the other mode, not the mode, but a different storyline that we were in a pantheon or something. I'm trying to remember what it's from.
9?
Was it 9? I thought that was. Oh no, yeah, no, it is 9. It is 9. That was in Black Ops 4. Yeah, okay. Because for some reason I was for some reason thinking, oh, it's not 9, it's 5. But no, 5 wasn't Black Ops 1. Thank you for that one, Commando. Yep, so I remember going through this. The story was just insane for this. I remember when it was what was it? I think the first 3 were all essentially just the first part of the story, and then Origins was just there as kind of ooh, there it is. And then Black Ops 3 was yeah, let's start something new.
Yeah.
And then what? I think 4 was where they ended it off for that one. It's the Shadow Man deal one, and then you have Cold War, which we still need to go through. Because we haven't done Forsaken yet. I know we did Mauder Toten. That was the most recent one.
We do need to go through the last one.
Do need to go through Forsaken. Do I actually still have that installed though? I wonder. I have not checked my Battle.net in a while. We need to do all the zombies maps. Honestly, yes, Karis, we do.
I haven't opened it up in a long. Let me. You know, the last time I opened it up was
When?
back when the new map released in October.
I mean,
That was the last time I opened up the fucking launcher.
I need to do an update for it. 2018 was when the last time you did it. Ooh. I mean, if I remember correctly, that was the last year that that Destiny 2 was on the Battle.net launcher. I think was I friends with you on that? I don't even think so. I don't know. I don't think I was at that time. Because you were... Was I? Or were you? I'm trying to find it. Because you were under the same thing, right?
I think so.
I'm trying to find it. I can't find him. Yeah, he was. I remember. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, you were trying to get the DFA still at that time when we first met. Yeah. God, that's such a long time ago. And then it all became for naught. I still love the fact that it's like we were just like, yes, we finally got it. And then the next, like literally at the final like part of the arrivals is like, yeah, here you go for free. Our bad. My bad, guys. Sorry.
Got the gun only for them to give it out. I get it. I get why they did it, because otherwise people just weren't going to be able to complete the seal. But still, pissed me off.
I still love the reaction you had, and then also I think what we had. Didn't we have Raven with us as well? And we went through Sabbath Dude's song too.
You know what I remember?
What's up?
I remember motherfucking wins. I did a run with him, and then that motherfucker got 2 of the gun.
One was Masterwork too. Oh, that was great, dude. I miss those old times where it was just like, oh hey, here you go. Have the gun, but we're gonna have you suffer. God, I still remember the damn time of getting 1K after 40 fucking runs. On Christmas, no less. And that was like, what? I think, like, when Joker's Wild was going on, too?
Think so?
It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. Me dying. What did I do with someone and get it instantly when they didn't do it for years ago now? I know that there was like, I don't even remember. Nightfall Shotgun. Oh, Mind Benders. Mind Benders is what you got.
I think that was Raven.
No, it was also Karis. I think Karis.
No, like who he's saying that he got when someone else didn't.
Oh. What was the Nightfall weapon for me that was the issue? I think it was the Wardens, right? Yeah, I think it was the Wardens. That was the only one that was was the pain in the ass, but I never really grinded for it.
It didn't even matter because the gun was trash.
I mean, it wasn't as bad as people thought it was. The only issue is that you needed to have the right perks. Because of the fact that was like a dual shot. That's why it was so slow, but it was like it was ass. It wasn't too bad. Shut up. Don't ruin it, okay?
I mean, granted, at that time, I was using Kindled Orchid or Waking Vigil. Was it Waking Vigil? What was the hand cannon from the...
Dreaming City?
Yeah,
That
because I
was
know
Waking Vigil.
it was Waking Vigil. Yeah, because I used Waking Vigil until I got the curated hand cannon from Last Wish, which was the Nation of Beasts. And then that became my go-to. And then Kindled Orchid came around. And then Recluse was like, hey, heard you guys really wanted to be a piece of shit. And then that's just... then there's history from there. I still remember the ration. Oh, yeah. Spare rations, man. Man, thinking about it, it's like it's a lot of things have changed from when we first started playing together in terms of like Destiny. A lot of like the good weapons are sunset. A lot of the other weapons are like, out of meta. Some of them have gone into meta. Fucking Karis and his goddamn perseverance. Holy shit, you were obsessed with that. I remember you were obsessed with it. Because every single time, I kid you not, every single time it's like, yo, did you get a perseverance? It's like, no, I did not get a good perseverance. Like, perseverance is a fucking great gun. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, I don't have it. Yeah, Commando's half-ass plans just like working out. It's like, oh, stroke of luck. Yeah, I always got the shitty brother. Yeah, of course. It was the Valkadon. The Valkadon was the shitty brother. I mean, it was what it was. There was nothing else about it. But we've been going for a while, so I feel like now is a good time to kind of wrap things up. I feel like what we should definitely do, depending on what happens, is I'm thinking possibly that we'll try to do it more, like on a more consistent basis, so to speak. But not like, once a week. No. We work schedules do not work that way. We can't do that. We'll still likely stick to it maybe like once a month, but hopefully we'll be able to get it like, be able to go through it like more consistently and not like have it once every 2-3 weeks. Like between that, like, But again, it just kind of depends on how schedules go. Because we can't predict what,
My current schedule is perfect for it because they've given me a schedule that's like Saturday, Sundays off now. Now, whether or not that sticks, we'll see.
I don't understand why they don't just give that to you. Like, ask just for that, and it's like, I'll just work the weekdays, and then boom, done.
Who knows?
It's fucking it's just bullshit. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed. Do check out the channel for more. Hit the subscribe there. As well as if you are not watching this on Twitch and watching this on YouTube, we do this stuff live on Twitch. Go to the Twitch channel. Follow it. Like Kara says hi to you guys as well. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.